Like a quick video this evening because I was working on something for my husband, and I thought I could share it. And you have to excuse me, I'm kind of a mess. My lipstick's like coming off. We just ate, so. But my husband has a wound on his arm. He works construction. He builds fence, and a lot of times he'll get splinters and things like that, and they will lodge in there and they will cause infection if he's not careful, and he has one of those moments right now. So I'm fixing to make what's called a poultice, and basically what it is you crush up herbs. You can do it in a powder form. That's usually what I do, is I powderize it. So I have my pestle and mortar here. You can mix it with a little bit of water. If you're out in the wilderness and you're foraging and you find these herbs and you have a wound, you can literally just chew it up. It's called a spit poultice, and then take it out of your mouth and put it on the wound. So, but these are really, really awesome. They help prevent infection. They're anti-bacterial, anti-inflammatory, antifungal. And they're also drawing, so whatever's in there, these will help draw them out. So my first herb that I'm going to be using, and I believe, make a video on usnea that I had found in the wild a few weeks ago. I'm going to make another video on usnea because I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite herbs ever. It's actually one of the first herbs I learned to work with. This is a little chunk of usnea right here, which is not wanting to come into focus. There it is right there. This is usnea. It came off of a stick that I have found on the forest floor. So we're gonna, maybe I can show you guys better on this video too. Hopefully it'll show you. A good way to identify usnea is to get here. It's also called old man's beard. Let me see if I can get it to like focus on that better. I just don't want to focus. It focuses a little better this way. So maybe if I just move this closer to me for the moment, it'll focus on that better. Okay. So it's also called old man's beard. Sometimes it gets like really long and it literally looks like an old man's beard. It's really cool. But a good identifying factor of this is you will find you one of the little branches here, and it's not focusing good. I call them branches. They're not. This is a lichen. A lot of people think it's like a moss or a mushroom. It's not. Some people actually think it's an algae as well, and it's not that either. It is a lichen, and a really awesome, helpful one. So we're going to pull, and I'm going to see if y'all can't see the elastic in there. You'll pull it apart, and you'll get this. Ah, it's just not focusing. I don't like that. I can get, it'll look like a little white piece of elastic when you're pulling it apart inside of it, and you really can't see it. So I'm gonna have to film a video later on about this, but you can see that's the white piece of elastic that's coming out of it. Oh, look, it's focusing right here next to me. So we're gonna do this again. We're gonna pull. Is not working. Alright, we're going to try this one more time. Okay, so there's that white piece of elastic. It's like elastic in there, and it actually feels like elastic. It's like stretchy. It's really cool, like a little rubber band. So I'm going to break this up and put it in my pestle and mortar. I'm going to move you guys back again because you don't need to be that close to me. to my face. So I'm going to break it up a little with my fingers, put it in my pestle and mortar. And the other plant we're going to use is yarrow. Yarrow is amazing, awesome stuff. It is really antibacterial, antimicrobial, all that good stuff. If you smell it, now I got this yarrow wild. Wild yarrow is usually white. It's gonna have these white flowers on it. Okay. Wild yarrow is usually white. There is a domestic yarrow, which is also amazing, and it is usually yellow. And it grows native all over the place. But this is yarrow. This is dried. My phone's just not focusing. This is dried yarrow. So I have some leaves and some flowers here. It's super good for wound healing. Matter of fact, I think I made a video a while back. My kiddo had tripped and fallen on a rock when we were out foraging. And she sliced her hand open. And I took some resin off of a pine tree. And I put it right on the wound. And I put a yarrow leaf on top of it and used it as a Band-Aid. And I mean, her hand was healed the next day. It was great. So these plants have definitely helped me a lot in life with things like that. I like to, this is also good, so yarrow will help stop bleeding as well. It's really, really good for bleeding. It will help literally, like, within a few moments if you have a bloody nose or a cut that's bleeding or, you know, something like that. You can put some yarrow powder on it and it will literally, it will stop it in a few minutes. It's just amazing, awesome stuff. So I'm mixing these two herbs together. When you smell yarrow, it kind of has a bactine smell to it. It smells antiseptic, which it is also an antiseptic. It's really just a really cool, amazing plant. Yarrow is also good for stomach stuff as well. But so while I'm breaking these up and putting them in here, I'm just kind of explaining what we're doing before I put this on his arm and help. He just stepped out here for a second. So I'm gonna make a poultice with this. I'll add some water to it. I mean, I could do a spit poultice, but I prefer to just do those like when I'm in the wild and I don't have access to water. Then I'll put the plant in my mouth and chew it up and put it on a wound. But so I'm just gonna break some of this up. I'm gonna crush it into a powder and get it wet, and I shall return and show you exactly how we use it. Okay, so I went and added water to this. I added some hot water to it just to give it an extra pull so it can extract the medicine out of these herbs a little better. This is kind of what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to have him give me his arm, and I'm going to put this on it. Turn it right there. So there's the spot right here. And I'm going to take some of these herbs here that have soaked. And he did just wash it good for me. And I'm going to put this poultice on him. Okay. And I'm going to add just some extra around to like leach out whatever might be there. And I'm going to take this piece of gauze here. I'll lift your arm real quick, baby. I've warned y'all, there will be middle fingers and farts and all kind of things in my videos. So, I've got this poultice on his arm here. And it's pretty good and wet. on there, and I'm going to wrap it with this gauze and just tie it off. And we're going to leave that on him for a few hours. And I may redo it in the morning. I don't know. You can kind of see some of the... I'm tying my hair into it too. Yay. Is that tied enough? Okay. So he's going to leave that on there for a few hours. I'll take it off. And if I need to redo it tomorrow again when he gets off work as preventative measures, I will. And hopefully that's going to draw out whatever's in it and prevent any kind of infection. If you are in the woods and you find these herbs, and I do believe I have identification videos in my YouTube, but if you find any of these herbs and you have been hurt, it can prevent a lot of things that are life-risking. So, you know, things like staph infections and things like that, because, you know, it's not the cleanest when you get cut and you're out in the woods. So hopefully this helps some of you and gives you some kind of information, and we'll just keep an eye on this tonight, and I will update y'all and let you know how it's doing tomorrow.